What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful Sunday. You may notice me with a headset on today. It's because when I play Rocksmith, I didn't realize it till this morning that Rocksmith destroys my audio settings. That's why you saw on the New Year's when the audio was messed up. And I tried last night and this morning, now my audio is jacked up again. And because of that, like the audio is either really too loud or inaudible. So I got to use this headset. So bear with me on this until I figure it out, or I'm just going to buy a new mic. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that. But what I need to do today is we need to go over the trial decks. It is going to be releasing the Hololive release on the English side is going to be happening on April 29th right here. So you can see that right now there's this whole buzz about these premium booster boxes that are over there at the Super Expo 2022. But at the same time, we don't want to lose sight of these trial decks because I know there's going to be people coming in that are new that are watching this that you don't know right now about these trial decks. And right now, you should really be taking a look at your budget and seeing if you want to pre-order some of these trial decks or booster boxes. So what I'm going to go over today is what a trial deck actually is, what's inside of it, how much it costs, the drop rates. So if you want to see drop rates, it'll be at the end of this video. At the same time, I am not going to go over the sign card prices, like look at what the Japanese versions actually cost. I'm going to do that on a different video. Really, it's just a level set so that we're all good just because there are new people coming into it, okay? Real quick though, premium boosters, it's pretty exciting. I mean, Hololive Super Expo, man, I wish I could be there. I would love to get a PR card. And look at this thing. This is amazing. I mean, I would love to hug him right there. We got Gura. This is the HLPs. I know I showed the video the other day about the SP. I didn't see a video for the HLPs, so just so you could see it real quick. Obviously, the difference is the diamond isn't really accentuated as much. There's no stamp at the bottom, and the borders are different, but at least we got the logo in the bottom right. You can see that. Over here, this would be your SP. These are really expensive because the drop rates is 3 SPs for a case of 30, which is, like a box of 30, you're only going to get 3 of these. And being that there's only 53, there is 53, you have a chance it's only 3 out of 53. More than likely, you're not going to get the person that you want. So these things are going to be pretty expensive, especially if you're looking at Gura. Right? She's going to be really expensive. I love Kiara, so I got to show Kiara. But really, look at the lighting on this picture that the person took. It's really nice. It's got a nice little rainbow thing going on here. So again, ignoring all of that, we got to make sure that you're on track for this English release of Weiss Schwarz Hololive. We got 7 trial decks and 1 booster box. So because of that, we want to make sure that you are ready for what's about to come, and then you're not just looking for product day of. So here are your 7 different trial decks. Obviously, the people in the picture in the little window here are who you are going to see in each of these actual trial deck boxes. Okay, so it's not like you're going to get all the different generations in one box. No, it's specific per that generation. And if you're worried like Coco wouldn't be there or Rushia wouldn't be there, they're there. Okay, so I know people have graduated, but they are still, or left for whatever reason, and they are still here. So inside of a trial deck, I need you to understand a few things. You're going to get trial deck cards, but you're going to get these SRs, which is super rares, and you're going to get triple rares inside. A SR is showing right here. It's the card in the window. And you might be wondering why I'm showing like 2 of the same actual card. The difference is one is an SR and one is a trial deck. And I'm going to show you that right here. I'm going to give you like a little bit of an example. Okay, so we have a trial deck right here. This would be for Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense, the anime. And you can see I played with it because it's like rattling around. It's in like card sleeves and all that. So I play these trial decks against people. Inside the trial deck, you will get 50 cards. You open it, you can play it right away. Like it's like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon with pre-built decks. So this is the same idea. This thing is pre-built. You can play with it. You will get in all of these trial decks, you will get a rule manual, and you'll also get a play mat. So again, you could just take one of these Hololive decks and play it. Now going back to the SR. The SR is the one card showing in the front. So for Bofuri, it was this card. And as you could see, this card was shiny. is shiny. And that's going to be the same thing for Hololive. The first card, which is the SR, the super rare, is going to be shiny. There are also normal versions of this card, the trial deck card. In this case, you could see these are the same name. See, it says replica of the Dark Knight Maple. Everything is the same about it. This time around, though, there is different card art. So it's not the same art, and one is foil. Okay, what you have here with Hololive is you have the same card art, but one is shiny foil and one is not. So that's what you're going to have. You're going to see both of those cards in there, but you're going to have one shiny. Okay. So again, in your trial deck, you will get one of those SRs. That's guaranteed. So you get one foil, which is nice for people that like getting foils. Next is you're going to get a triple rare or a sign card. More than likely, you're going to get a triple rare. I'm going to go over like the likelihood of that later, but just keep in mind that you're not going to see a sign card statistically all that much. Okay, so I was trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, yeah, it's not happening right now. Okay, so as you can see, same thing with this one. So it's the same card, but one says triple rare. I know it's hard to see at the bottom. It says RRR. The other one says trial deck. Same idea as what we had over here. So just to show you, with Bofree, just using the same example, Bofree had different card art, and you could see this triple rare is shiny. The name is Showdown Between Guildmasters. And this is the same thing, Showdown Between Guildmasters, but there's no shine to it. It's different card art. Okay. With Data Live, I picked a Data Live example. This is from the actual booster box, not trial deck. But you could see here, this is a shiny version, triple rare. And you have the same card art on this normal card. So that's what this is the example that you're going to see in Hololive, right? Same card art, one shiny, one not. And that's what a triple rare actually is. All right, and so you're going to get two shiny cards again, super rare, which was this one back here. And then you're going to get this, potentially this one as well. And I'm going to show you how many different triple rares there actually are. So with Gen 0, I'm not going to read all the names and all this stuff. The thing I want you to be aware of really is anybody in this picture will be in the actual deck. And the triple rare, there's 14 types. Like I said, you're only going to get one triple rare. There's 14 of these. If you actually want to collect all 14 of them, at minimum, you have to buy 14 trial decks, right? And that's hoping you don't get a duplicate. So if you want the shiny version of this stuff, then yeah, you're going to have to actually buy that. Buy 14 of these if you don't get a duplicate. If you got good luck, then that's how it's going to be. There are 4 sign cards as well. And like I said, the likelihood of you getting it is not good at all. And the rates I'll show later on. These are the sign cards. I'm going to go through these pretty quick, like since you saw Gen 0. But what we got here is all the sign cards. I mean, depending on who you are and who you love, they're going to be more expensive. I thought Roboco was like really not as expensive as you can imagine with like Suisei or somebody like that, right? So, and especially the card art here, because people looked at it, and I'm not going to point to it, but you can imagine what people are looking at on this card, and the prices will probably fluctuate because of that. So you'll have really expensive cards and not. So hopefully whoever you love as a VTuber is not going to be horribly expensive, because I would imagine a lot of these will actually be really expensive. But my one thing that I don't like about these cards, and I'm not saying this one specifically, is the sample. Like when you look at these sample cards, you're going to notice some of them, like the actual color of the signature like blends in. But as we saw with that Hololive premium box, when I showed you like the SPs and HLPs of Gura and Kiara, once that light hits it, you'll be able to see a lot better. But in the pictures, it might not stand out as much. And I definitely love some of these signatures, right? Like I love when they draw little animals on here and all that. You'll see with Okayu, really, I thought that was just fun. And Marine, like, oh my god, that one looks really cool. Okay, so Gen 1, here's who we have. Just note, because this is a trial deck, there is going to be some times when there's variations because, right, Gen 0 was four actual VTubers, and Gen 1 we got five. So yet the numbers will actually change based on how many people are in there. So triple rares this time around we have 12 and we have five sign cards, which makes sense because there's five of them. Everybody gets a sign card. Okay. And the cards for these, I mean, you could definitely tell there was a lot of love put into this artwork here. Definitely people are going to be looking for some of these cards just right away looking at it. Right, so I see. I like this one because it like contrasting colors. We got like pink, pinkish reds, and then we got a green here. Where some of the ones you'll see coming up, like this one right here, the yellow and yellow for Mel. Like this one is like uh, kind of harder to see, but like personally, when you probably hold the card in your hand, it'll stand out. But like when you look at these samples, so just see because you see these samples, it might not be as easy to tell. Like when I was searching for these cards to actually put into this thing, I was like, where is the SP? I can't find it. And then I looked and I was looking for the word, not word, I guess the initials SP, and I found it. And I'm like, okay, the acronym. And I'm like, okay, now I found it. I'm like, wow, that's really hard to see. So Gen 2 again, five people, five sign cards, 12 triple rares, and here are the sign cards for those. Uh, some nice ones. Like there's definitely ones you'll see coming up that definitely look like a lot of love went into the cards, and there's some that I feel like was I don't know why it felt like generic. Like if you've ever seen Weiss Schwarz cards, if you haven't, you'll see what I mean when I get to I think Generation 5. Okay, Generation 3, I think this is going to be the big one because we got Rushia in there with everything that happened. Noel, Flare, Pekora, Marine, like it's going to be pretty amazing. And I like looking at this one out of all the different Generation SPs, like if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Generation 3 as like my favorite of the grouping. Not saying about YouTube VTubers or something like that, but really like the sign cards themselves, looking at this, I'm like, they're great. See, and this is what I mean. Like this kind of blends in up here. But look at that. She drew a ship. That's freaking amazing. Ahoy. And drew a ship. And people are going to like Noel just because they like Noel and the card art is, the card art. And then you got Rushia. So I feel like Generation 3 is going to be something definitely to watch out for, especially like playability of this actual trial deck. Generation 4, we got Coco. If you're worried that she wasn't here, she's actually here. 12 types. Again, 5 types of sign cards. And here are the card arts for them. Pretty nice looking, I think. Again, I like Toa, I think the best out of all of these. Like just glancing, I love the hearts here. We got some strawberries. I think there's strawberries up in her hair. So overall, like the card art looks really great. And then we got Generation 5. So 4 people in there. And you're going to see what I mean. So if you take a look at Generation 5, I don't know what the deal was with this one, but the background is like so plain. This remind me, and I'm not dissing them, I'm dissing like the background art. I don't know why they went this generic route. It reminds me of back in school. You remember back in the school when you had to take pictures? I don't know if kids still have to do this these days, like they have those choices, but you got to pick like lasers and black, red, blue, green backgrounds and stuff. And that's what this reminds me of. I don't know why this one, because look, I'm gonna go backwards, and you're gonna see. Like, just keep in mind like the blue, red, gray, and then you have like, let me go back. You got these nice trees. You got a beach. You got um, carrots here. What's a better one? We got a beach scene. So it's just in a field of flowers, water everywhere. Like it's just weird that there was so much life in all these cards, like background wise, and then you get to Generation 5, and it's like bang, there you go. Here you go. We're just gonna give you the VTubers and just put it on some background. And this is what you sometimes see with Weiss, like other actual sets. It reminds me of that. So a little sad about that one. And now we have gamers. So gamers, 4 people in there, 4 SPs. This is the one I like. Korone. I'm like, take a look. I mean, we got dogs here. Okayu. We got the rice ball, and then look, rice ball with the O, Okayu. I mean, like, I think this is one of those ones where it totally stands out to me. You got fireworks there, and again, going back, not to harp on this, but I don't know what the deal was with that background. So there we go. We got SPs, your sign cards. I did not obviously show you all the different cards. If you want to see all the cards, um, Weiss Schwarz has not actually revealed all the cards yet, right? Like they're doing this slow reveal of all the different signature cards you can see down here on the Weiss Schwarz English website. What you want to do if you actually want to see all the cards for the trial decks and booster box, you're going to have to look at the Japanese version. One way to do that is you're on this Weiss Schwarz page. Like if you type Weiss Schwarz, you're going to end up on this English page. If you type Weiss Schwarz Japan, it'll bring you to the Japanese site. But if you don't remember that, all you got to do is delete the en dot. And if you do that, it'll take you to the Japanese site. I use Microsoft Edge, which does this automatic translation thing, right? Like when you come out here, it's in Japanese, but with Edge, for me, it'll translate. So that's what I use. That's why I say if the translation is messed up that I use, then blame Microsoft because I can't read Japanese. So I use this, but I guess I shouldn't blame them because this is assisting me. All right, and then from there, you want to click this card list. Okay, click the card list, and again, because this translates for me, I'm able to do it. You could type in Holo, like Larry type in Holo, and it'll come up here. This Hololive production is the booster box that you will find in there. If you scroll basically 3/4 of the way down, you will find the trial deck ones, okay? You have to scroll down and it lists them all broken out like that. So if you want to find those cards, you know, hit that search and bang. So remember what I showed you just not too long ago about the amount of triple rares? They were saying like there's 14 or 12. So you could take solace in this, that in this actual set there is triple rares, but the triple rares are all the exact same art. Like when I showed you Bofree, there was different art, but with this one, it's the same exact one all across the board. So as I scroll down, you'll start seeing it, right? Like there's two versions, and you'll see that time and time again that has the same exact art. So it's one of those ones where even if you don't get the SP, if you can't afford to buy the SP, if all you can get is a trial deck and hope that you get the SP, but you don't, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Again, the difference is there's no signature and you don't get the foilness of it. But at the same time, I don't want you like spending hundreds of dollars to try to get these cards if you can't afford it. So at the very least, if you get the trial deck, then you'll have the cards. If you can't buy the trial deck, then buy single cards of the characters that you actually like, right? There's TCG Player, there's eBay. Just watch out for prices. Like some people can charge more in different places, and you'll be overpaying for it. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the regular version, and then we have the signed version. So that's the difference. So don't go nuts and like spend for something that you can't afford. But as you can see here, like I said, if you want to see all the different cards, just come out here, scroll through it. You can look down and make sure like which one you want to buy, like the booster box, the trial deck, maybe both. I'll go over like how much all this costs. Okay. All right. So trial deck, I looked again, stores before I did this video, and the trial deck is showing $18 to $25. It is still available. It is getting harder and harder to find. A trial deck display is $100. What a trial deck display is, it is this. So we got Bofree right here. You saw the trial deck not too long ago, right? Inside of this thing is 6 trial decks. All the trial decks are exactly the same, right? Like all those regular cards are exactly the same. The only difference is the triple rare, or that if an SP is inside of it, right? Like literally everything else is the same. So that's what a trial deck display is. And the reason why that's important to note is because of this. What we got going on here is this is Rent a Girlfriend. This is 8 of those displays that I just showed you. So 8 displays, 6 trial decks inside. Imagine a big cardboard box around this thing, and that's what you're going to get if you buy this. So it's going to be this roughly is an $800 box. You know, as I said before, 100 each. There's 8 of them. It's $800 roughly. I know with Hololive it might be a little more expensive than that, but generally that's what these would be. So this is an entire case. The case is important to know because of this. What we got going on here is the Japanese drop rate from the case of trial decks, and I broke this out so that you can see it. We don't know where the SPs will be. Like this one could actually be over here or something like that. But what this is illustrating to you is the chances of actually getting an SP card. So, or sign card. SP is sign card. Um, so what we have here is there is only going to be 2 of these sign cards in this entire case. So if you buy an entire case of 8 displays or 48 trial decks, um, and again, you want to buy them as a whole actual box because people can do stuff and switch stuff out if they got the sign card. But you want to get this as a sealed case if you are attempting to do this. What we got here is when you open this, you will get, like I said, the triple rare every time. 46 out of 48 time, you will be getting triple rares. 2 out of 48 will be the actual sign card. So when you think about that, the odds are highly against you that you're going to actually get a sign card. So when you go into this, you need to think about, do I want to spend $800? If you can, if there's even cases out there still, do I want to spend $800 to attempt to get 2 sign cards, or do I just want to take some of that money, buy like buy a trial deck, and then actually buy the sign card individually from somebody? Because think about this, there's only 2 sign cards in here, right? I just showed you screens that had 4 or 5 people in it. So even though you may buy this and there's 2 signed cards in it, if the amount of people in the generation is 4 or 5, even buying this might not even be enough to actually get you the signed card you want. Because for 4 people, you need 2 cases. For 5 people, you need theoretically 2.5 cases to actually do that. Theoretically, because again, like it could be number 47 and number 30 something that would actually have it. And normally what will happen is the signed card won't be in the same one. So you can't have, I haven't seen it yet where a signed card will be here and here, like as in the 2. Like they would be over 2 different ones, okay? So it's not like, I've never heard that actually happening. So you could see this is going to be a fairly expensive deal. And as long as you understand this, knowing that these sign cards are going to be really, really hard to get, and the amount of money it's going to take to actually attempt to get these, you're in a good spot. If you have any questions, please, please, please make a comment or send me an email. I have my email description. It's anybody, you're always free to email me, okay? What I will say then is I broke this out depending on who you are. If you are new and you're just looking to collect this stuff, you have no care in the world about playing it at all, what I definitely would suggest for you is you either, like if you like the cards inside of the trial deck, well, go out to that Japanese site, see if those are the cards you want. Consider buying a trial deck or buying singles, right? There's TCG Player, there's eBay, there's Facebook groups. Consider doing one of those 2 things. If you want to attempt at getting the signed card, as you saw with this last image, you more than likely should be buying a thing of 6 of them, unless you have really good luck and you want to try 1 out of 48. Like you want to buy 1 of the 48 and attempt to get the SP out of there, the sign card. Okay, if you're playing for fun, there's always these people that say, like, how many trial decks do I need to actually play? I mentioned before, I play my trial decks against other people that don't play, and really all you need for that is just 1 trial deck, right? Like you need 1 and the other person needs 1, but you only need 1, because when you want to actually play, there's some people that will give the advice that if you're going to play, or if you want to play somewhat competitively, buy 2 decks and mash them together. The whole idea of that is inside of these trial decks, the really strong cards, what they do in Weiss Schwarz is they only give you 2. You're allowed to have 4 max of 1 card. So because they only give you 2, you have to buy 2 trial decks. Decks are only allowed to have 50 cards, so mashing isn't the right word, I would say. It's mashing and removing. So you take 2 of the strong cards from that other trial deck and put it in yours, and then you have to remove 2 cards from that to make it back down to the 50. So that's why they say buy 2 trial decks. So you get the difference. Playing for fun, just playing against somebody just for fun, just to have the cards, you only need 1 trial deck. If you're going to be somewhat competitive, 2. If you're going to be really competitive, then you're going to be looking at booster boxes and the trial decks. There are some really strong cards in these trial decks, so you're going to need two of them to do that whole swapping in and out. And then you're going to need the booster boxes to charge them up even more. Okay, so that's what you're going to want to be looking at. Hopefully this helps you out. This is definitely everything you need to know about the trial decks. Again, make sure to go out there. I know these premium booster boxes are a big deal, but at the same time, this is the English release of this actual set, which I think is more important than premium boosters, unless you want like some of the EN members right out of there. We don't know if the premium boosters is going to be released in English. I would imagine it should be, but there's always that chance. But for now, remember, trial decks, they're coming out April 29th. Booster boxes coming out same time, April 29th. We'll talk about that on a different video. Again, take a look at what you want to do. Figure out your budget and how you're going to divide it over this different one if you're interested in Hololive. All right. Again, if you have any other questions, comments, please put them down below. And also, if you need to, send me an email. Anytime you send any of this stuff, I do say it's 24 to 48 hours before I get back to you, normally sooner than that. But with the amount of emails I've been getting lately, it could be different. So again, I hope you have a wonderful day. Have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Seriously, don't do that.